If you want complete control over the effects you're using in your project, and you want to save your computer's resources, and have a mix that sounds more cohesive, then you'll want to use aux sends. Let's talk about why and how to use them. So let's talk about what aux send means, what that phrase means. The word aux, which is short for auxiliary, just means extra or supplementary. So when we add send to that phrase, it just means an extra send. So what does send mean in terms of audio? Well, if I wanted to copy the audio of this channel and send it somewhere else, I would use sends right here. So a send basically duplicates the audio and sends another version to another channel. So now that we know what an aux send is, let's talk about how to use those and why they're useful. So let's say I wanted to add some reverb on my acoustic guitars. I could go to audio effects, I could insert an effect, I could go down to reverb, I could go choose reverb, open that up, load it, get the perfect kind of reverb I want. Great. Now I have another acoustic guitar right here. I would have to do the same thing, same process. Do that, and let's say I want to do that same thing on several more tracks. Well, once I do that, I have loaded, 5 or 6 instances of that reverb plugin on those multiple channels. And if I wanted the same kind of reverb, I've either got to save a preset or duplicate that. And if I want to change it just a little bit, I've got to go back and change it across all those channels. So here's where aux sends come in very useful. So let's go up here to options, and we're going to hit create new auxiliary channel strip, and Logic automatically adds it down here with our other aux channels. And I am going to name this verb. Okay, so now I have this extra channel strip right here, and let's choose the input to be, let's just do bus 3. So now this is set to bus 3. So now what I can do is I can add my effect right here. Let's add some reverb. That comes up here. Great. Let's say this is exactly what I want. Good. I'm going to pull this volume up to about 0. Okay, now I'm set. I can come over here to my guitar track. I'm going to go to sends. I'm going to click here to insert a bus. And now I can select to copy a version of this track to send to the reverb channel. So now how I'm doing this is an effects only channel. So I have the dry version here, which actually the output is set to bus 11. So I already have a guitar's bus right here. So really this is the dry version of the signal, and this is the wet version of the signal. So now you can automatically see how much control that gives me, having kind of 2 separate ways of messing with this sound. Okay, so now let's go here to my other guitar track right here. Let's hit bus 3 to reverb also. Great. So now it is instructed to send a copy of this signal to this channel right here. Now how Logic is set up, it is actually not going to send anything yet. Here's another cool thing about sends. I have to go here and adjust this knob, and this chooses how much I send to this channel here. So this is how I mix the level of reverb. Because remember, this is not affecting this channel here. This channel here is by itself. This send is not going to change anything on this channel. This is telling us how much signal am I going to send to this channel. So now on this reverb here, I'm going to open this back up. You'll see it is set to 100% wet. That is 100% reverb sound. And this is the dry. This is set to 0. So the only thing we're going to hear is the reverb effect. So again, this here is going to be our dry signal. This is our wet signal. So now how much wet signal I hear is going to be determined by how much I send over there. Okay, so now let's go over here. We can adjust this also. I can put more in. I can put less in. I can put it right about here. And now I can go through my entire project on any of these tracks and add bus 3, copy the signal, send it here. And now the beautiful thing is I only have one instance of reverb open. So that is just going to funnel all of the audio through one instance of reverb, and voila, there we go, we have reverb. Now, the thing with this is you don't really use this master fader here. Generally, you can leave it to about 0 or somewhere close to that. Remember, you're mixing per individual track how much you have here. So now to build on our aux bus idea, I'm going to go here and choose no send, no send. What I can also do, since this is already my acoustic guitars, I can go here to the sends of my acoustic guitar and then send them to the reverb. So now both of these are already coming here as a bus send. So the signal is coming from here, going here. So if I want to control the levels or anything of these 2 tracks, I can do it here. So now further, I can send those 2 tracks, I can copy those 2 and send those to this track here. So now I've got this bus sending to this effects bus. So now one of the great things about this, as you can see in this project I have some small plate reverb loaded, large plate, ambience. I can have a collection of reverb. So 2 or 3, normally you do a shorter time and then larger time and then maybe a really long ambience reverb. If I am just involved with these 3 tracks here, this keeps my reverb sounds closely related. So instead of putting in an LA scoring stage here, and then a European cathedral here, and then a vocal plate, then digital plate, and all these different kinds of reverbs that I think sound best for the individual tracks, if I just stick to one of these 3 right here, it's going to make my mix sound much more cohesive, like it was recorded in the same location. And that's really important to get everything kind of sounding together and like they all belong in the same room. And that's true for vocals. Generally, vocals and virtual instruments and a guitar line and drums, they can all be recorded in many different places, especially now with technology. This is a really cool way to kind of get everything sounding like it belongs in the same place. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope that you can use this in your next project. Please feel free to share in the comments below some things you learned, some things you might want me to expound on, and also some ideas for future videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.